Question number 81. A 4-day-old boy is diagnosed with the physiological jaundice and his mother is distressed and wants to know why is having this condition. So what should the nurse tell the mother about the most important cause of physiological jaundice? So option A, immature hepatic function. Option B, decreased milk intake. Option C, RH incompatibility. And option D, red blood cell enzyme defect. So option A, immature hepatic function is correct answer because physiological jaundice is a common in the newborn, causing the skin and eyes yellow and by buildup of the bilirubin from the immature liver, which is really struggling to process it and appearing the after 24 hours of the birth and usually resolve within the 1 to 2 weeks of without any treatment. Question number 82. When reviewing the previous shift record. Question number 82. When reviewing the previous shift record of the 2 days old newborn, so which of the following should alert the nurse that this newborn needs the special care? Option A, birth weight of 3200 gram. Option B, the Apgar score at birth was 3. And option C, positive Moro reflex. And option D, symmetry of Babinski response. So option B, the Apgar score at birth was 3 is correct answer because Apgar score of 3 is critically low and indicating the medical attention and care. Question number 83. A nurse is explaining to the group of the parents that is each communicable disease there is a period during an infectious agent may be transferred directly or indirectly from an infected person or animal to another person. So which of the following describe this period? So option A, incubation period. Option B, prodromal period. Option C, period of communicability. And option D, desuccumation period. So option C, period of communicability is a correct answer because period of communicability is the time an infected person can spread the pathogen to another by directly or indirectly route, and it is also known as the infectious period or contagious period. So question number 84. A 9-year-old child has a fractured femur and full leg cast has been applied. So which of the following is the physiological effect of immobilization? Option A, venous stasis. Option B, increased metabolic rate. And option C, nitrogen positive balance. And option D, increased need for oxygen. So option A is correct answer because venous stasis means slow or stagnant blood flow in the vein, usually the legs, due to the various causes such as a leg fracture, immobilization and obesity. Question number 85. A nurse is assessing the lungs of the healthy patient. So which of the following breathing sound is considered normal in lower lobe? Option A, adventitious. Option B, vascular. Option C, bronchial. And option D, bronchi. So option B, vascular is correct answer because vascular breath sound are the normal, soft, low pitched sound. It indicates the healthy airflow through the lungs. Question number 86. Question number 86. A patient recently had a tooth extraction but the pain has continued and the patient says the area hurt when eating, brushing and the teeth or touching the face. So which of the following cranial nerve is most likely to be involved? So option A, 11th nerve, option B, 7th nerve, option C, 5th nerve and option D, 3rd nerve. So option C is a correct answer because 5th cranial nerve or trigeminal nerve is the largest cranial nerve which is responsible for the facial sensation and chewing. Question number 87. A 70-year-old man present to the clinic with a difficulty sleeping at night and he has not had a good night rest for the several months and feels exhausted and he needs to place the 3 pillow behind his back in order to sleep. So examination of the lungs revealed the crackles and wheezing auscultation of the heart confirm an SC gallop sound. So how should the nurse document the patient breathing problem? So option A, apnea. Or option B, orthopnea, option C, dyspnea at rest and option D, insomnia. So option B is correct answer because orthopnea is a shortness of breath that occur when lying flat and forcing the people to sit or stand up to breathe easier, so often requiring the extra pillow to sleep. Question number 88. Isolation of a child with measles belongs to what level of prevention? Option A primary, option B secondary, option C tertiary, and option D intermediate. So option B secondary is correct answer, because secondary prevention usually will do to detect or treat the early stages or limit the spread of the disease condition. For example, screening test, isolation of the infected individual. Question number 89. Which type of family nurse contact will provide you to with the best opportunity to observe the family dynamics? So option A clinic consultation, option B group conference, option C home visit, and option D written communication. So option C home visit is correct answer. Question number 90. Tertiary prevention is needed in which stage of the natural history of the disease? Option A pre-pathogenesis, option B pathogenesis, option C prodromal, and option D terminal. So option D terminal is correct answer. Question number 91. A nurse is caring of a 65-year-old critically ill patient with a history of 10-year-old sigmoid colostomy that has been successfully managed with every other day through irrigation. So which of the following is the best nursing action? Option A continue the irrigation schedule. Option B avoid irrigation to allow the bowel to rest. Option C manually remove the feces from the ostomy, and option D administer the large doses of stimulant laxative. So option A continue the irrigation schedule is correct answer. Question number 92. A 37-year-old woman presented to the emergency room with a complaint of symptomatic bradycardia, and appropriate nursing intervention include establishing the intravenous access. So what is the possible drug to be administered in an IV solution? Option A digoxin, option B atropine, option C anticoagulant, and option D a calcium channel blocker. So option B is the correct answer, because atropine is an anticholinergic medications and used to treat the slow heart rate such as your bradycardia. Question number 93. A patient admitted to the emergency room with the alcohol withdrawal symptom. So a nurse performed the physical assessment. So which of the following symptoms are expected? Option A hypotension and bradycardia, option B deep sleep and unconsciousness, option C uncontrolled fear and tremor, and option D decreased body temperature. So option C uncontrolled fear and tremor is correct answer. So what are the other alcohol withdrawal symptoms, such as your loss of appetite, increased mood disturbance, agitation, irritability, heart palpitation, hallucination, fever, and seizures? Question number 94. A 56-year-old patient present with the psoriasis. So secondary lesions are present on the upper and lower extremities. So which of the following best describe the appearance of psoriasis? Option A scales, option B crust, option C scars, and option D fissures. So option A scales are the correct answer, because psoriasis is the chronic autoimmune skin condition causing the rapid skin cell to build up and leading to the redness, scaly, and itchy skin. Question number 95. A nurse is assessing the pulse in the legs of a patient using a Doppler ultrasonic device and hear the wave-like whooshing sound. So what does this indicate? Option A venous stasis, option B normal blood flow, option C pooling of the blood flow, and option D buildup of the arterial plaque. So option B normal blood flow is correct answer. Question number 96. A patient admitted with a CVA is unable to chew or swallow. So the patient is at the risk of aspiration. So which of the following nursing intervention should be performed? Option A start a pulse diet with the thickened fluid. Option B give no food by mouth and start intravenous hydration. Option C refer the patient to the physical therapy for the muscle strengthening, and option D refer the patient to psychiatrist for the depression related to CVA. So option B give no food by mouth and start intravenous hydration is correct answer. Question number 97. A patient with GERD is to start taking prescribed omeprazole. So the nurse would instruct the patient to take the medication. So which of the following is the best instruction? Option A 30 to 60 minutes before meal, option B 90 to 120 minutes before meal, and option C with apple sauce, and option D with milk. So option A, 30 to 60 minutes before meal is correct answer. Question 98. A nurse calls together an interdisciplinary team with a member from the medicine, social service and clergy and the nutritional services to care for the patient with a terminal illness. So which of the following type of care should be performed? Option A, palliative, option B, curative, option C, respite and option D, preventive. So option A is correct answer because at the time of terminal illness, so usually we'll provide the palliative care. Question number 99. A patient present to the clinic with the pins and needle sensation of the left foot and complained that object appears shimmery, and the patient is diagnosed with the optic neuritis and referred for the further testing. So which of the following is the most likely test? Option A, glaucoma, option B, multiple sclerosis, option C, lesion of the brainstem and option D, psychosis. So option B, multiple sclerosis is the correct answer because optic neuritis is a complication of multiple sclerosis. Question 100. A patient with the Crohn's disease has developed the fever, increased respiratory rate, increased heart rate, chills, diaphoresis and increased the abdominal discomfort. So the nurse knows that this patient has most likely developed which of the following? Option A, ascites, option B, intestinal obstruction, option C, intestinal perforation and option D, intestinal parasite infestation. So option C, intestinal perforation is correct answer. As you know, the Crohn's disease is a chronic inflammatory bowel disease causing the inflammation anywhere in the digestive tract from mouth to anus and often in the small intestine and the colon, leading to the symptoms such as your abdominal pain, severe diarrhea, fatigue, weight loss and malnutrition.